Mic check, mic check. All right, bet. Yes, the title of the video is correct. I'm quitting, or better yet, I'm taking a break from dunk contests and events. Let me tell you why. First off, if you don't know who I am, my name is Dominic Gonzalez, aka Dom Dunks. I'm a professional dunker, 5'8", and I have around a 48-inch vertical. Before I say the reason why I'm taking a break from dunk contests and events, I want to get into the story on how I became a pro dunker and why I wanted to become a pro dunker. So growing up, I played a lot of sports. The main three were basketball, baseball, and soccer. I love basketball, and the aspect of dunking is really what caught my eye and hooked me into the sport. And at the time, I didn't know what dunking was as a separate sport, so I just thought it was basketball. So I had a low rim in my backyard, and every day I would just practice on it and try and dunk and try to hit new dunks and try to recreate dunks from the NBA players. So I was just having fun, just like any other kid would, but I kind of took dunking more serious than other kids, and I just fell in love with the sport. So growing up in elementary school, before and after school, I would just go to my low rim in my backyard and just spend hours on that. Then when it got to middle school, about 7th grade, I tried out for the basketball team, and unfortunately I didn't make it. But that actually gave me a lot of time to just practice on low rim at my house. And I thought I was just getting better at basketball, but it was just the skill of dunking I was working on. It was super addicting for me. It was super fun. And I just wanted to get better at that aspect because I thought being able to fly would be the coolest thing ever. And jumping was the closest I got to flying. I literally have clips back then of me jumping far from a spot in the room to a couch just because it felt like I was flying for like one small second. So I just love the aspect of jumping, and then I love basketball, and you put that together, it's just dunking. So I fell in love with that. And then in high school, I made the team. I played all 4 years in high school, and I came across Jonathan Clark, the first ever pro dunker I saw on social media, and he's the one that opened my eyes to the world of pro dunking and that you could do dunking separate from the sport of basketball. In 2019, October, I created my own dunking account, which you guys now know as Dom.Dunks. From there, it just started as a low rim page, as a journey page to get to my first ever 10-foot dunk. And fast forward to the summer going into senior year, I got my first ever 10-foot dunk. And from there, I knew that anything was possible, and I didn't want to settle there. I wanted to go as far as I could take it. So after that, month after month, I was able to hit a new trick dunk, a new style, and I was just hooked onto pro dunking. And that's really what I wanted to do for my career. At the time, I was in senior year, and I had to make my mind up if I wanted to play college basketball or try this pro dunking thing. Not guaranteed. I don't even know what there is for pro dunking, but I just loved it so much and it was my passion, and I just stuck with it. After high school, I chose the social media and dunking route, and fast forward to 2022, I had my first ever dunk event, my 10-foot dunk event at Amazing HQ in LA. There was no prize money, there was no trophy. It was more dictated by the crowd, and I won that dunk contest. I got some highlights right here. Yeah, that's really what just continued to bring me into the dunk community and dunk career, I'd say. So after that, I had my first pro debut in Sacramento against New Williams and another professional hooper. I got second in there, but it was a cool experience, eye-opening experience, and it really just challenged me to become a better dunker because that was my first ever loss, and it just made me more motivated than ever. And then fast forward to 2023, I got my first invite to a FIBA 3x3 World Tour in Canada, and that was against CJ Champion and Tyler Curry, and I actually won that, and I was 19 years old, and from there I became a professional dunker. I continued to do more dunk contests, get my name out there in the dunk community, and unfortunately, if you guys don't know, I actually tore my quad muscle, my VMO, and partially tore my quad tendon in a FIBA 3x3 dunk contest in Bahrain, and that really struck me, and it really just hit me that I'm not indestructible, and anything could happen at any moment, and that really put my focus more on God at the time, just because everything of this world is temporary, but He is eternal. I had to shift my focus more on Him, just because dunking was starting to take my life, take my attention and my priority, when God should have been that the whole entire time. So honestly, it was a blessing in disguise. And then thankfully, I was able to recover in just 4 months. So after I tore my leg up, I flew back home. It was about a 32-hour flight from the Middle East back to California. And after that, I was in crutches for about a month. I couldn't walk. I couldn't drive. I couldn't do any of the normal things. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't get surgery because it was partial tear on the tendon. It was more of a full tear on the VMO, but muscle is easier to heal than tendon. So yeah, I was just casted up. Sleeping hurt a lot. A lot of people don't know this about my injury story, but I was in a lot of pain just doing regular activities, trying to go down the stairs, trying to go up the stairs. Especially when I slept, my legs started to cramp, and any movement, either flexion or extension, really hurt. It was like a 10 out of 10 pain. So after that month where I had the crutches and the immobilizer brace, I was able to walk again. I was able to do some range of motion activities. Then over time, I just did some strengthening work, just like barbell squats. And then I slowly added weight over time. And the doctors actually told me I would not be able to jump in 6 months, let alone dunking, which would take about 12 months, they said. But luckily, a miracle happened and I was able to dunk only in 4 months. And it happened in Florida. I was with the whole THP crew, and it was awesome. So after that day, I was like, all right, I was able to dunk from a torn VMO and a partially torn quad tendon. I could keep this dunking going, and let's just see how far I could go. So in 2024, it was my comeback year, and it was just me trying to get back in the rhythm of things. I was able to get a 46-inch vertical off of a slide approach. I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was like a 90% effort jump. That was a good sign for me. And in November, I got invited to my first ever dunk contest back from the injury. It was about a year apart from when I actually tore it, and it was the Jesser versus Dwight Howard dunk contest, and I won that. Super fun experience. And then 2025, which is the year we're in right now. So I have a lot of adrenaline, I have a lot of hype, a lot of confidence because I don't feel any pain anymore. I just won a dunk contest, my first dunk contest back from my injury, and I'm just on a dunk high right now. So I keep doing little events, big dunk sessions, and all that. I'm feeling great. So 2024 was really just my comeback year, just getting back into the rhythm of what I already was doing. So Dunk Camp 2025, I was one of the coaches. I think this was my first year being a coach, which was awesome. And I did the dunk show. I did good. I tried to hit 50, but I missed it by like 2 inches. But yeah, all summer of 2025, I was popping off with events, collaborations, dunk sessions. I was doing new dunks that I've never done before. I tested a .959, which is the highest flight time that I've tested before, which was crazy, which is around a 48-inch vertical for me. Then I had some events. And then my most recent event a month ago, I actually underperformed and I just wasn't mentally ready or physically ready, and I just hurt my knee. It's nothing major. It's more just patellar tendonitis or PFP. I had a realization after this dunk contest and big event, and here's why I'm going to take a break from dunk contests and events. So here we go. So the reason why I want to take a break from dunk contests and events is really just because I want to be 100% healthy. I don't think I've been fully 100% healthy in a while. I've been able to jump off 90% and 80% without pain, but I really want to get to my full potential and I really want to hit that 50-inch vertical marker. So doing events constantly really doesn't help me gain vertical. It's more of just, you got to maintain health for dunk contests, and I can't really push myself to the fullest if I'm doing all these events. So what I really want to do is focus on the weight room, focus on my health, and try to get as bouncy as possible. I want to make it clear, once I reach a 50-inch vertical, I will be open to rejoining to the dunking scene again, the dunk contest scene, and I will still post dunk sessions on YouTube when I feel healthy and all that, but I just can't commit to any dunk contests or events right now just because I'm prioritizing getting a 50-inch vertical, trying to be the best version of myself as well as the healthiest version of myself. With that being said, welcome to my journey to chasing a 50-inch vertical.